Hey guys, so I know I've told you guys to jump on this true stretch machine before class sometimes, but I don't think that you always know exactly what to do. So one of the first exercises I wanted to show you is for activating your glutes and stretching out the anterior hip, for getting everything loose, lubed up, ready to go. I'd like to start with this one where you put your hands and you want to have 4 points of contact. So you want right hand on, left hand on, right foot in front of you, left foot behind you. You'll notice that there's an incline and a decline on this. So your right foot is going to be going up. Look at your left foot. Make sure the foot is nice and straight. Drive the hips forward. So you're not doing a push-up here. You are driving the hips forward so that you have a stretch in the front of this left hip and you have a stretch in the back of the left calf. And sometimes you'll feel tightness all across the lower back and sometimes you don't feel anything. But each side will be different, so pay attention to how your body feels. After you do, let's say 6, hold forward. So the important part is to hold forward. So this front knee bends. Hold forward, side to side. So your pelvis goes side to side, and I've had people say, oh, I feel a little tight in my back here. You are moving your hips now in what's called the frontal plane. Before you were going in the sagittal plane, which is front to back. Now you hold that, and you're going to take the hips in the transverse plane, which means rotation. You're going to go side to side, so you're pushing the right hip forward and then the left hip forward. Trying to keep contact with your heel in the back on the pad. Now you're going to drive forward, and as you go forward with your right knee, your right hand is going to go back. You're going to look over your shoulder and back here. So now we pull the thoracic spine, the T-spine into it. And again, 5 or 6 times. I like to do both sides. You will notice that one side is tighter than the other. And that knee is driving forward as you're looking back. Then you switch. So now left foot comes forward, right foot is back, drive forward. Keep that right heel down the whole time. Think about feeling that stretch in that anterior right hip now. Anterior means front. Keeping that heel down. If you notice that your heel keeps lifting, shorten your stance, come forward a little bit. So now we're gonna hold forward, hips go in the frontal plane, side to side. And now you're going to go in the transverse plane, rotation. Right hip forward, left hip forward. Then again, we hold forward, and let's go ahead and take that arm back. Look over your shoulder, come back. Now if you feel a stiff neck, another way of making your neck have a little bit of mobility, your cervical spine, is to keep your head forward when your arm goes back, because that makes all the muscles rotate around that cervical spine. But for this one, I like to have you look unless you are trying to loosen up that cervical spine as well. Okay, so after you've done that, you're gonna go forward. Right foot comes up in the cradle where it says true. Your right foot is up, your left foot is straight if you can. You can rotate it out if you want. You can do all 3. You can rotate it out, rotate it in, or keep straight. Whatever's comfortable, but this top leg has to be soft. You're gonna hold on in front of you, and you're gonna bend that back knee nice and deep. Take that whole right leg from the femur, which connects at the hip, and rock it side to side. After you do this a little bit, go ahead and flatten that foot, reach your hands up. Again, you wanna have 4 points of contact because that makes your body relax. It tells your central nervous system that you have stability here, so we're working on mobility right now. So again, we're driving forward into that anterior hip. If you wanted, you could take your hand with you up and down. If you wanted, add a little bit more extension in the thoracic spine. Then we're going to take this right hand, hold on to the right side, take your left hand, reach it over your head, not in front, over your head as far as you can, and drive forward. If you can reach the top row of these, that's where you would hold, but I can't, so I'm just going to take this forward as far as I can. So again, I'm moving my body in the sagittal plane from my hips, but my upper body is in the frontal plane. Now I'm gonna add the transverse plane on my upper body, rotating it here and driving forward. And another one I love to add, especially for moms, is hands here and add a little bit of a pelvic drive, going into a circle, one direction, and then the other direction. Loosens everything up. All right, same thing other side. So right foot will come down, left leg comes up in the cradle, hold on right about here, sit into that right glute, left leg is straight but not locked, your knee is soft. It's gotta have a bend or you won't stretch that hamstring. And that whole leg is going side to side, not just your ankle. I see a lot of people just move the ankle side to side. You want your femur moving. That's where it connects to the pelvis. Then you're gonna flatten your foot. Hold on again as high as you can. Drive forward. Then you're gonna take the left hand, hold on. Right hand goes over your head, not in front. Drive forward. And then your hand goes in the transverse plane, rotation right there, drive forward. And then you'll go back to the center and give me that pelvic circle. A few times one direction and the other side. And then you're gonna take your feet up a little wider than hip width, holding on here in the bars. Let your body sink back. Your legs are nice and straight. Stretch your back right here. Your diaphragm is connected to your lower back. You want to relax it. You need to take deep breaths here. So take a deep breath in, count to 5. Exhale, count to 5. You're going to do about 3 to 5 sets of that. Then sink into your hips, into a deep squat, still holding on, and rock it side to side a little bit. If you want to move your head looking over your shoulder as you rock it side to side, you can do that as well. And then you're going to round up your spine. And your mobility part is complete on this for now. There's a lot more I could show you, but that's when you're going to go into your 3D maps, which is your lunge series, where you give me those squats, you give me those forward, sit back lunges, side to side, rotation, and then you're good to go.